What's up guys, it's Gaz. Welcome to the Warframe video. So I wanted to get a quick video out for you guys showing some things that were bug fixed to become buffed, or some new things that were added to make some other items a lot stronger in the game. So let's quickly go over those. I'm going to quickly show you guys how the Klamora and Lega prisms were heavily buffed. Now you can fire these prisms for your operator much longer than before, guys. So there was actually a bug in the game where the fire rate was tied to frame rate of your gameplay. So if you are on maybe you had 200 FPS gaming setup or something like that, you were firing that thing a lot faster than it's supposed to be. So you can actually fire it for with my Matarai passives, I can fire this thing for a good couple of seconds. It was definitely it was 1 second before. So this thing is definitely better for normal missions now. I don't know if I'd say this is really good for Eidolons. This is the tier 7 prism, just a reminder. They also buffed the tier 6 prism, which is the flamethrower that we have some videos on the channel. Guys, they heavily buffed this thing. This was also tied to frame rate and they fixed it, so now you can fire this thing for 10 plus seconds straight. And if you use the setup that we were using in the video, you can get viral damage in here with Virtuous Trojan, and you can just regen your energy really quickly and get back to you can literally just use this thing as a primary in your missions now, the Lega Prism. So throw some viral damage on there. Get the Certus Brace to give us some good crit, and it's going to be really nasty, guys. We have plenty of videos of that on the channel, but that's all with all those videos are with the bugged values, so you can actually use this thing a lot better now. So Lega Prism heavily buffed, Klamora Prism probably still not completely usable, but definitely better now than it was before. So those are the amps that got changed, the tier 7 Prism and the tier 6 Prism. Let's quickly show some stuff that I also have been thinking about the last couple days with the MOA. So if you guys have been watching the videos recently on the channel, you have seen that these the Venom Dose Augment mod is heavily buffed, the Smite Infusion for Oberon heavily buffed, Shock Trooper for Volt, Freezing Force for Frost, etc, etc. The Ember one exists too. So basically these mods, they apply to you and your teammates when you hold down the button. So normally it's just gonna buff, or normally the Spore's just gonna put an infection on an enemy, it's gonna spread corrosive and stuff, but now if you hold on the button, it buffs you and your teammates. It will also buff your MOA. So you give that we're giving that MOA 204% additional corrosive damage right now, guys. So MOAs have guns. It's basically like having another teammate with you. So if you fully mod out your MOA's weapon, like something like this, which not everybody should do, I definitely would not recommend this, because you actually can't use the same mod on your MOA's weapon and your primary weapon. So let's just click on the Prisma Gridlock, for example. So let's look at the build again. So see, I have this split chamber on my Prisma Gridlock. I would need to use a different split chamber mod, or I'd have to unequip the Prisma Gridlock or something like that. So I actually have another leveled up split chamber just for my Sentinel weapon. But basically, guys, this is doing 99.9 corrosive damage at base with this build and our ribbon. We have a ribbon for the Death Machine Rifle. So it is 99.9. If we give that 200% additional damage, it's going to be doing 300 damage per bullet, guys. And that's on our companion. And the Death Machine Rifle has really good fire rate. So let's quickly try to show this. It's not the easiest thing to show because the AI for the MOA is pretty dumb. Yeah, I'd say the main issues for MOAs are not really damage-based. The main issues for MOAs is that they just stand there and tank damage like an idiot. So let's see how it works on this level 50 gunner. It's getting staggered a little bit. It's about to die. Let's go melee to heal back up. Got 200 health from that melee hit. So it can kill a level 50 gunner with a 200% damage bonus, corrosive damage bonus, and the Riven, and some prime mods, and everything maxed out. So yeah, they got I'd say that's a pretty small buff, but it is noticeable when you give them something like that. Let's try it with Oberon really quick. I'll just switch to Oberon here. So we can give it radiation damage, so it will be doing radiation damage and corrosive, which will be really good against armored enemies. And then of course we can always just be removing these guys' armor in the first place with corrosive projection, and it will be doing a lot more damage overall. Alright, so let's buff him. Now he has 145% increased radiation damage, so he's got rad and corrosive. Not really something you normally are getting. Remove her armor. That should be good. She is donezo now. She's gonna get shredded by the MOA. We didn't shoot a single time there, guys. So yeah, is it gonna be your main damage source, and is it gonna be murdering raid bosses left and right. No, it's definitely not. It's also going to just be standing there tanking damage like an idiot. That is the main problem with MOAs. I tried to make this MOA. This is like a special MOA I built for my Umbra Garuda. So we got the Crisis Core core part, the Oloro MOA model, the Tion bracket, and the Munit Gyro. This is mostly for cosmetic purposes. I just thought it looked cool, like a threatening-looking MOA with this like bird head. So it's basically meant for health and armor right now, which is what I would recommend. And then as far as precepts go, we have Stasis Field, which will help us be more tanky within the bubble of the MOA. The MOA will regularly teleport to us as we're running through the level, so this will actually just like have it appear right on top of us sometimes. We've also got Tractor Beam for fun. This is not extremely useful. It can be funny for sure. It makes you like aim glide a lot longer and minus 50% gravity. The other precepts for MOAs, I actually got the ones from the secret rooms on Jupiter. So the secret rooms on Jupiter will give you this mod, Anti-Grav Array. Increases the owner's jump height by 40%. That's just normal jumps and double jumps, guys. It doesn't work on bullet jumps, so it's not super useful to me. You also got Odo Medic. So every 3 meters traversed by wall running regenerates plus 40 health over 4 seconds. This effect can stack. So this, if you are someone that wall runs in every mission, this actually is pretty good amounts of healing. If you don't want to like run Vazarin, you don't want to run, you can't run Grace or anything like that. This is some healing technically. It only works on MOAs. Or you can only be equipped on MOAs and Sentinels, though, so keep that in mind. I actually have tried this one out, and I can't get behind it, but it is a very powerful effect. I can definitely agree with that, when it does work. We've also got Whiplash Mine and Shockwave Actuators. I think Shockwave Actuators is pretty good, but it also gets very confusing because the energy wave the MOA lets out, it used to just be blue. I don't know if it's still just blue, but that gets very confusing because the other like the enemy MOAs have the same energy trail when they use their stop attack. And then Whiplash Mine, it doesn't go off fast enough for me, personally. But yeah, Stasis Field, Tractor Beam, that's what I'm sticking with. And yeah, guys, some other decent Sentinel weapons I'd recommend. I'd say the Death Machine Rifle is my personal favorite, but some of these new ones are actually pretty good, too. What is that one called? Moltron. I heard this one's pretty good, the Moltron. It's got pretty good base damage for a Sentinel weapon. As you can see, our Death Machine Rifle has 4, I guess it's technically 5 base damage, and okay, you know what? It's not even better. It's 5.1. The Death Machine Rifle is better than this thing, it appears. Some actual good ones. The Sweeper Prime is pretty nice. It's lower range, but it hits very hard. Look at that base damage on that, guys. We have like 60 base damage on this thing, and we have 5 base damage on the Death Machine Rifle. The fire rate is very different, but this is going to hit a lot harder up close, the Sweeper Prime. Maybe get a Riven for that if you want to have a really crazy MOA. We've got the Volklock. I can't say this is a good weapon, honestly. I got a Riven for it to make it like a sniper rifle for my my companion, but it fires very, very slow. So we got 0.161 fire rate. And I think we have a fire rate mod on here. We have an unranked fire rate mod. If you jam all the fire rate, maybe it will fire kind of regularly, but yeah, I'm going to stick with the Death Machine Rifle. I think it's pretty good. It's got good fire rate. It can give us corrosive procs even with a 3% status chance. And yeah, that's it for this quick video, guys. General gist of it is you can build some Klamora amps now. You can build some more Lega ones, and then use those elemental buff mods on your MOAs to make them stronger. And they can actually hurt level 50 enemies if you stand still and don't shoot them. Alright, talk to you later, guys. Peace.